Welcome everyone to Straight from the Paws. Today I have a great announcement to make. I have our newest board member, Marlene Santos. Hi Marlene.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great because I have a new board member who has been with us for approximately 3 years as a volunteer.
Correct.
Now, okay, so tell us a little bit why you came to Forever Paws to volunteer.
I had some time that I wanted to fill and give back to the community, and having fur babies of my own, I decided to maybe help out some other fur babies and give them a voice and just help them.
True, that's good. And what's your experience been like there?
It's been a great experience with the staff. The staff at Forever Paws, I feel that they give 200% of their time, and they're caring and they're very loving to the animals. And they're very welcoming of the volunteers and appreciative of when we're in the building helping them do chores that maybe they don't have time to do because they're tending to the animals. Thank
you, I appreciate that. As you know, it's been a very difficult year this past year. We've had a lot of different things going on, and the staff has been, we were half staff at one point this summer, but we've gotten up, and we really appreciate all the volunteerism that you've done. But let's backtrack a little bit and tell me a little bit about yourself. And do you have children?
So I'm married to Joseph, my elementary school sweetheart, not even high school sweetheart.
Wow.
So, and we have 2 daughters. We have our daughter Danielle. She is a special education teacher for the South Dartmouth School Department. And then we have our daughter Hannah, who just graduated and passed the bar on her first attempt, and she is practicing law out in Woburn.
Wow. Yes, I've got to meet both young ladies, and that was amazing what Hannah did.
Yes.
You say the first time, and that's something to be very proud of, because as we all know, it takes sometimes 3 or 4 times, and some people don't make it. So she did really, really well, and we'll attribute that a little bit to you and Joseph. Just a little bit, just a little bit, but
it was all them.
It was all them. They've done a great job. And you work full time?
I do. I work full time for Swansea Public Schools. I'm the executive assistant to the superintendent of schools, and I am in my 38th year working for the Swansea School Department.
Wow, I guess they like you there.
Yeah.
I guess. Wow, that is fantastic. That's really, really good. So you volunteered at the shelter, and we kind of noticed that you were there a little bit. I tend to not let people know who I am when I'm there. I just kind of walk around and I see volunteers coming in, and I help Joyce with the scheduling and stuff, and I'd see you were pretty consistent in what you were doing. And then all of a sudden we were looking for more people to join our fundraising committee, and I asked Joyce, and she goes, "Oh, I've known Marlene." Joyce always tells me, she's a great person, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, Joyce, I've heard that a million times before," but I do my scurrying around ahead of time. And then you joined our fundraising committee. Now, why did you add that to your repertoire of what you do?
Again, volunteering at Forever Paws has been a great experience for me, as the welcoming of the staff and the welcoming of yourself and of Bev. So I thought, why not add one more thing where if we can raise money to do additional funding to help the animals, then why not do it? And so the committee was also extremely great welcoming. When I arrived, I was new. I didn't really know anyone on the committee except for Joyce. And it was like, going to grandma's house. Everyone was very welcoming, and everybody's purpose is the same. We're all there to help the animals, improve the shelter, improve what we need at the shelter to make the animals' lives a little easier until they get adopted.
I appreciate that very much. And I will say that you've also improved our meetings because 2 reasons. One, you now bring some goodies, baked goodies usually, to our meeting, which everybody appreciates, and they're always delicious. And you took a cake decorating course.
Yes. So I
use
the ladies as practice.
Yeah.
And I always say, I do love to bake, but I use the ladies of the committee as practice, and they critique, but they're always so kind and say, it's good. So I don't get any bad.
No, you don't get bad feedback because there isn't any.
Oh, that's good.
I would say to you, I think Bev would be pretty honest and say, oh, that wasn't too good today, or, I didn't enjoy that. And I think other people would be too, since you are doing that for, a specific reason. But You do a great job with them. The last one was like a dog. You decorated
Yeah.
like a little dog, and she also brings treats to the shelter for the workers, and they appreciate that. I was there one day when one of our new employees, Tiffany, walked in and she goes, "Ooh, I think that lady made that again." I said, "Marlene." She said, "Oh yeah." She said, "I'm on my break now. Can I have a piece now?" I said, "Sure, go ahead." It was the one with the strawberries in it, and she goes, "Oh
Yes.
wow, this." So I wish my mother would bake like this, and I laughed and I said, "Yeah, I understand that, but we would all be very, very heavy if we continue to eat Marlene's desserts."
Well,
But-
that's why I bring them in. So I don't eat them, but I love to share, and because I love to bake.
And then one of the things that I really appreciated was that you agreed to take the minutes one time. And as they will tell you on the committee, once you take a job, it's yours.
It's mine to keep. Yes, I'm noticing that.
You're noticing that? So beware now that you come on our board. So what's happened is with Marlene, I tried to put in some anecdotal notes in the past where some people didn't show up, because our committee is almost like 18 people.
Correct.
You know, luckily I have a very large living room and we can fit everyone in pretty comfortably, and you know, we do enjoy having everybody there, but some people miss some nights and some people, you know, can't make it or whatever reason, or have to leave early. So you take fantastic notes. I've told you that before.
Thank
the minutes
you.
you send them to me, we take a look at them, I say, "Yep, that's perfect," and she sends them out. And then Marlene also took responsibility of taking on the alpaca yoga.
Yoga.
And you're doing that again this year.
Yes, that will happen in June, and we do that at the Hillcrest Alpaca Farm in Dartmouth. The first year I took it over, I didn't know what I was doing, but I had great guidance from Gail and from Bev, and it pretty much runs itself. It's a program where people look forward to. They ask, "Are you going to have this again?" Sometimes they're like, "Can you have it, 2 in 1 year?" But with the other activities and events we have going on throughout the year, we find once a year is enough. And we get about 30 to 50 people depending on the day of the event. And people seem to really like it. And working with the Hillcrest Alpaca Farm person, Dave, he's very accommodating, and he loves animals. So to him, he's just helping the community give back with something else.
And do you participate in the yoga?
No, I'll bring a yoga mat in my water like we suggest, but then we just enjoy. There isn't a yoga instructor there, but there's very little yoga going on because everyone wants to feed the alpaca when they come out to you.
Got it. So one thing I will say this winter, last year I had bought some of the socks that they had gotten from the alpaca wool or whatever it is, and I'll tell you, those socks were wonderful. They kept my feet so warm. I think if I go back again, I'll get another pair.
Good to know.
Yeah,
they have the little store.
They have a little store that they don't make the products there. They send out their, I guess you call it wool or whatever it is. They send it out, and then they work with a company and they send it back in, and they do sell some products there. So that's another thing. And they also have the what do you call that? The food tray. They have their own little food truck. Food truck there. So at the end, somebody wants to go and have an ice cream, or Bev and I get an ice cream in between.
Right.
But that's a lot of fun, and we enjoy that. And we've enjoyed having you on our committee very well. So you kind of have attended somewhat of an emergency meeting, your first board of directors meeting, but I hope that you felt welcome for that meeting as well.
I did. Some of the board members I did know, because some of the board members are also on the fundraising committee, but the members I did not know, they made me feel extremely welcome, whether it was there or sending me an email to welcome me to the board. So it's a great group of ladies and gentlemen on the board of directors as well.
Well, I appreciate that. Again, right now we only have one gentleman. We used to have three or four at a time, but since that's unfortunately they've had to go on, and Matt Frazier, the psychic, he's too busy to come now, but he is an honorary board member for us, and we appreciate that, and he does support us in other ways. So that's a great thing. But I know that I've got a lot going on for you to join us with. I know that you do also help some other organizations, because you're one of a person that believes in the community and help the community. And I admire that. I have myself in the past, when I had to do community service with my granddaughter, I would like to go and do different things too. But unfortunately, this board of directors job has kept me rather busy, and I don't have other abilities to go out and to do other things. So I admire someone that has that time, especially working full time. I've been doing this at least in this building, for 21 years, and I was working full-time till several years ago when I retired. So I know what it's like, and having having a husband at home, and having your 2 daughters that you still help out with, and your
My grand doggy and my grand kitty.
Yeah, so you've got 2, you've got one of those each, and I know it's very difficult when you go into the shelter and you see an animal and you say, I want to adopt that one.
Yes.
I know. And you did foster for a little bit, and that was a little bit of a difficulty for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that was hard, but it's hard. It's hard, but we appreciate having someone that is as loyal as you are, and a worker bee. Some people come on and they say, oh, I want to be. I just had recently someone say, I want to join. Come to we're having our annual meeting. I want to join, and I was like, you want to come to the meeting? Well, no, I want to be on your board. I've never heard this name before, and I was like, no, we just picked our latest board member, and we're a full board right now, which I'm very happy about. And a lot of our board members, actually there's 3 technically, that have been there right from the beginning. And they continue to volunteer, they continue to help us out on the board, and I appreciate that. But having new people on board gives us a different perspective, and that's a good thing. And everyone on the board has something that they do. You'll find your niche on this board with us, but you'll also get to learn more about the ins and outs of how the shelter exists. And
Correct.
It's difficult at times, we make some hard decisions, whether it be, giving people raises or improving the building in some way, having to decide how we're going to do that and what's going to be done. That's the most difficult thing. But just in your 3 years experience working at, volunteering, whatever you want to call it, Forever Paws, can you give me a highlight of something that really sticks out to you?
I would say one of the, other than going in and helping the animals, of course, and sometimes an animal might be there 1 week and I'll say, oh, I want to take you home. And then I go back the following week and they might still be there because maybe they have a little issue that needs to be taken care of and the staff is taking care of it. But I think one of the biggest things is the way the staff welcomes the volunteers into the building. As I mentioned before, they're very appreciative because if I'm cleaning the diva room, then one of the other staff members can maybe tending to an animal that might need a bath or it might need some more supervision or something like that. And the fact of yourself and Bev, how I feel like it's a family. Everybody on the committee that I work with, that I volunteer with, I feel like it's a family. It's going over to, as I'll do my Portuguese, over to Tatia's house. Yeah. And everybody, they care about each other. If something happens in someone's personal life, someone will reach out and say, are you okay? And I think that's like the biggest thing that helps when you volunteer. As you mentioned, I volunteer for other organizations as well. And I find when I'm volunteering at those organizations, it's a welcome. And if I'm not having fun, then I'm not going to do it. And I look forward to my Fridays. When I volunteer at the shelter, I look forward to the committee meetings because I see people that I only see when we have a committee meeting. And being new on the board, I'm sure I'll be looking forward to the board meetings. My first board meeting that I did attend, I found it very interesting of, wow, the behind the scenes of what goes on at the shelter that I didn't realize. It was like, you ladies make the shelter work and the staff make it work like a well-oiled machine. And it's like, wow, all these little intricate pieces. So I think the biggest thing is the welcoming. You feel very welcome and you feel part of a team when you're there. There's no exclusion. I've just been very lucky.
Well, I appreciate those comments. I really do. And I look forward to having you at our next meeting next week. And again, from all of us from Forever Paws, I want to thank you for joining us. And you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You as well.